Yo, what's going on everybody? Hope everybody is doing well. Today we're going to be pairing Chroma Prime with the Tenet Glaxion, and we're going to absolutely cook with this combo in a Steel Path survival. I made a video talking about the Tenet Glaxion and how you can actually make energy orbs with this weapon, and this mod Photon Overcharge is what actually allows you to do that. As you can see, on top of the plus 90% critical damage we get, on kill or assist, slain enemies have a 2% chance to drop an energy orb per cold status affecting them. That means whenever we affect an enemy with the maximum cold stacks, which is 10, the enemy will then have a 20% chance to drop an energy orb, which is pretty damn amazing for builds that consume a lot of energy or have low efficiency. But in order to actually make this mod useful, you'll need a cold build with your Tenet Glaxion, which is actually really not that hard to achieve at all, especially if you have a Tenet Glaxion and the default bonus of that Glaxion is cold. As you can see, I got a 93% cold status, and that is not only thanks to primed cryo rounds and rhyme rounds, it's also thanks to the extra status chance I get from galvanized aptitude. And to make this cold build even better, I got shivering contagion, which allows me to actually spread the cold status effect. It is only 6 meters, but at the end of the day, that's better than nothing. And I also got primary frostbite, so I can increase this weapon's crit damage and multi-shot whenever we get a cold status effect. It's not hard at all to get the maximum stacks, which of course makes this weapon even better. And when you pair that amazing weapon with a Warframe like Chroma that can increase the base damage of weapons by a lot, as you can see, I have a 951% damage increase on my Chroma Vex armor. We can also make the weapon even better by giving it viral with Nourish. Now you can do more damage to those frozen enemies, potentially killing them faster thanks to the viral weapon damage buff. And whenever they actually do drop an energy orb thanks to Nourish, you're going to be getting more energy back anyway. So in my opinion, when you pair this weapon with a Warframe like Chroma, you can have some pretty amazing results. So let's go ahead and take this build into the Steel Path and see how good it can do. So I'm gonna pull up to this Steel Path survival on Jupiter. I've been testing out a few builds here because honestly I just like the layout of this map. And at the end of the day, when it comes to the Tenet Glaxion, I'm not expecting the highest damage numbers necessarily, but I will be freezing a lot of enemies at once and making a lot of energy orbs in the process. And we get extra damage thanks to the Nourish buff, and man, we're destroying these enemies. Holy shit, look at this. And we got a good Vex armor buff going, so now I can just keep chilling, holding left click, freezing enemies, chaining enemies with the freeze, you know what I'm saying, and making energy orbs along the way. This is actually amazing. And the best part is, you don't even have to get the kills with the Glaxion itself. You can just freeze them, get the maximum cold stacks you need, and then follow up with your other weapons and get a kill. And you still have the same chance to drop energy orbs, but when you're on Chroma, you don't really need to do that at all. You can just get the Vex armor buff you need, and then hold down left click, and yeah, you see the results. Their health just disintegrates once you actually get past that shield. See, look, like this guy, insta-dead. What? That was 410,000? 400,000, I think? Not bad. Now that I really pay attention to it, we're actually doing some pretty solid damage. We're getting like 400,000s, 100,000s, 80,000. I'm not even trying to peak in damage with this weapon. This is mainly a weapon that makes energy orbs. I'm not even aiming down sight at this point. I'm just running around, holding left click, looking for enemies. And at the end of the day, it may not make the most energy orbs compared to some other builds, but it still makes a super solid amount, as you can see. I'm just spinning around at this point, just holding down left click, man. Like, nobody can really stop this. This is just solo. If I had another damage buff in any way, shape, or form, I could be doing even more damage on top of potentially making even more energy orbs, because when you play with people, more enemies are, you know, more likely to spawn. So this is insane. 600,000, okay. When you're causing a lot of damage at once, it's really hard to keep up with some of the damage numbers. Like, I didn't even see the damage numbers in there, bro. I don't even know how much damage I'm doing right now, but all I know is I'm cooking. And the best part is, whenever I want, I could just swap to my other weapons. These enemies are frozen and they can't move. Bink. What are y'all gonna do about that exactly? This is such a vibe, bro. Just walking around holding left click, causing a lot of destruction, able to throw out any type of damage you want besides just holding left click as well, because, you know, these enemies are frozen. I could swap to my other weapons and just cause as much destruction that I'm doing with the Glaxion itself. And in my opinion, it's even better when you actually pair it with Nourish, and you bring this weapon in a mission type like this where you're surrounded by a bunch of enemies. The potential to make energy orbs is really high. It's not the highest percent chance at the end of the day, but when you're encountering a lot of enemies like this, you still got a really good chance of making some energy orbs. And yeah, I think I've made my point quite clear. I'm gonna just go ahead and dip out of the survival. Ever since I've gotten this weapon, I have not stopped using it because it's just been so clutch in every scenario, especially on a Chroma build like this where I have super low efficiency. It just helps helps me get my energy back so much faster, and I really like it. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Let me know what you guys think of the Chroma Tenet Glaxion combo down below. Before this video ends, real quick, just wanted to say thank you guys so much for all the support on the channel, and that's gonna be it for me. Keep your head up, stay positive, and with that being said, thanks for watching.